It's not a JP, but it applies to any sound that you have. Um, so basically, this software, Wavelab, can do a whole bunch of things. I only use it and bought it for this reason. Basically, you can find loop points in a wave file, and you can put these markers, which are actually loop markers. Let's play. Oh yeah, I have to close logic. Well, I can show you in contact. Once you find this loop points, usually you can select and create loop from section, and from there you hit L. It takes you to this, and you can set the loop point. Now it has to be like really precise, because otherwise, every time it loops, you hear a click, so you can actually tell that it's sampled. Once you find your right loop point, I mean, if you look at this, if you click this one, the software will find the perfect loop point for you. It works 90% of the time. Sometimes you need to fine tune it, but it works. If it doesn't work, if you keep hearing the click, you can put a crossfade between the initial part of the sample and the last part of the sample. So it would crossfade, and we will blend the attack of the sample and the tail, the way that you will not hear a click anymore. Once you set this point, you can save your audio file, and these loop points will be actually saved inside your WAV file. And once you open either EXS24 or Contact or any other sampler, it will recognize those points. These are the points. So let's try find the note right here. So now it's looping, but you can't hear it. Like it's just a straight note. If I change the loop, you hear that. It has a little bit of an artifact that sounds like I'm re-triggering the note. So so yeah, the hardest thing is to find a loop point first of all. Then you simply name your audio file, like C1. I think this is C, E, and F sharp, if I'm not wrong. C, E, and yes, it should be F sharp. I don't remember if it's F sharp, but no, it's G sharp. And then you go back to C, E, and G sharp again. You can sample. I usually sample 4 to 5 octaves, and once you have those octaves, you have to loop all of them. And once you loop all of them, you're good to go. You can import them into Contact, and usually Contact does the mapping on its own. So let's just try. Let's get rid of all this. Right. So now nothing is playing. But I have all my notes here, and I know that it starts from C0, all right? And it's definitely, I don't remember if it's, hold on. Yeah, this is wrong because it's every 4. So it should be like this. Okay. It's not doing what it's supposed to do, but usually it just sets the note in the right way. So let's try another sound. That might work better. Preset sample. and it's gonna crash. No. No, okay. Yeah, Contact decided to make me look like I'm not able to do it. Let's try one more time. Standalone music, JP instrument. All right, yeah, that was my fault actually. So it depends where you drag them. This is something a little silly, or I'm sure there's a reason as to why they did that. But if you keep it high in the mapping, it will spread the node into a bigger space. Well, if you go down, you can see that the space is between the nodes is changing. I don't know if you can see the the thicker white line changing. So I think it should be around this area. Right, yes. So it does it automatically, but you need to drag it in the right place. So let's try again with the other instrument. Let's see if I was lying or not. So it was a drone. There we go. Boom. Let's put it here. C. Right, now it's working. And this is the same sound that I had open here, right? It's drone 72, blah, blah, blah. And if you go back, let's see if we can find a drone 72. It's this one. And where is it? Drone 72. Okay, it's not looping properly because, yeah, Wavelab failed. But you can fine tuning in Contact and the EXS24 as well. But I find Wavelab to work better. Of course, right now because Logic is using the audio interface, Wavelab is not able to actually show the to actually play the loop point, so I can't set it for you. But if we go on and say, okay, apply, save it, and get sample turn, yes, save it like that. Hopefully it overwrote the loop point and maybe it works better. Let's see. Mapping. All right, it should have saved. So again, 72. Now it's not even looping. Right now, for some reason, it took off the loop points, but I don't know what's happening. But maybe it's still because of the interface problem. But yeah, long story short, Wavelab will set the loop point for you. You need to fine tune them in Wavelab. It's much better. Once you have the loop point set, you can simply open your Contact or EXS24 and drag everything in there. With the EXS24, there should be a way to tell. Let's quickly try that. There should be a way to tell when do you want your sample. So it would be this load a new instrument, load multiple samples, and let's just go back, Contact. Select them all. Add done. okay, you can say it starts from C1, C2, D, whatever. I know that I started from C, but maybe let's take it down to C0. And so it's every 4 semitones. And it's not right. It should be more. Maybe 5 semitones. So let's do this again. Nope. So this one should be here. Right, so I don't know. This is probably a different kind of setting that I did. Either 6 semitones or something like that. I don't know why I did that. But yeah, in Contact, it's definitely more visual. With the EXS, you need to set and remember how many notes you did, and if you didn't do it, and if you do it wrong, you probably have to delete and go back again. So yeah, what you need to do is first just say, okay, I want my notes to be sampled every 4, 5, 6 semitones. Usually 4 is better. You have to record your live instrument, of course. You actually have to physically stay there for 10, 15 minutes until all the notes are recorded. I suggest to at least do 3 to 5 to 10 seconds for each note, depending on how complex is the sound. Once you did that, put everything into either Wavelab or anything else that will allow you to loop the sound. Save your single sample, import them into any sample that you want. Remember how many semitones you set the note, and then you're good to go. But it's a really time-consuming thing. That's why it's taken me 3 years to make that thing. And yeah, the Nexus sound set was basically this. And it was literally 10 hours a day of the same sound going on for like 2 minutes or even more until I found the right loop point, save it, go with the next note. It was basically like that for 127 sounds times 15 note per sound. So it was a lot of work. So yeah, what I suggest you to do is don't do it. unless you're in a studio, you are working, like for example, I was working in this big studio. They had it was like gear heaven. They had a Moog Voyager, they have a Prophet 08, they have literally every most expensive synth that's on the market right now. They had it just because it looked cool. And I was working there, and in the morning they weren't in the studio. I had free access to the studio. So I was like, okay, they're not there. There's no work that needs to be done. What I'm going to do is sample all these synths so that I can use them at home. So unless you have a really kick-ass synth in front of you and you have it for just a couple of days, there's no need to. Another reason as to why you would want to do it is, let's say you have, for example, the JP that has a really distinctive sound, or a virus, and like me, you travel a lot. At that point, you can be like, okay, I want to be able to produce on the go. I want to have that sound because I can't make music without that sound. At that point, it's worth to put the effort to sample every note and create your own sample-based sound. But as I said, there's a lot of instruments that do that. Omnisphere is another one, another famous one. There's Nexus. There's going to be my sound set. And once again, if you don't need to do it, this is really time-consuming. So yeah, of course you asked, and it was definitely good to show you how it worked, even if I failed many times on doing that. But yeah, if I can suggest of not doing it, it's always better to have a VST playing the actual sound that you can add more detune, you can add whatever effect that you want. While a sample at the end is still a sample. It sounds good, it sounds like the real thing, but you're always limited because if for example you want less detune on the JP sound set, you either do another set of 15 samples of a less detune recorded JP, or otherwise you can simply just open silent or whatever and set up a detunes over there.